I took the course, I always thought, I always wonder myself what can inspire my student in the classroom, and how can I do that effectively. And because I'm a student of DUNG University Economics in the past, I was not majoring in English at that time, but I have nearly 8 years of experience in teaching English to Vietnamese learners, and for quite a long time, I always wonder myself, am I qualified enough? So, or I just use my instinct to teach. So that's the most decisive factor contributing to the decision of taking the course. The biggest strength of the course at NTU is a wide variety of modules it offers. We've got a module on this course. We've got a module on materials, assessment and development, language testing, and we've got a module on, very practical module, teaching practice. And another very interesting part of the course is the flexibility it allows the student. Apart from all the core modules that I just mentioned, we also have a variety of optional modules, multimedia application in language learning, English for academic purposes, English for professional purposes, multicultural communication, teaching English to young learners, so many. So basically, you can really tailor a program to your own interest. I have to say that the course has changed me quite a lot in so many different ways. Before the course, I always thought that choosing a course book is quite easy. To pick one, whatever it is, and it's gonna work. But after the course, I become more picky, and I just realized picking a course book is really, really difficult. It's not easy at all, because I have to take my learners' differences in terms of interest, motivation, learning styles into consideration when designing the course and when picking up the course book. Another thing is I realized that student teacher-centered approach and grammar translation method are not suitable anymore in teaching foreign language. Now I get familiar with student-centered approach and community language teaching method, and I always try to encourage active participation in my classroom. Always promote pair work, group work, group discussion, with the aim of promoting my learners' analytical and critical skills. It's a really interesting question. It's a fantastic combination between linguistic aspect and social cultural aspect. NTU highly appreciates the range of perspectives that students coming from different social and cultural contexts bring to teaching and learning, and I really enjoyed the exchange of ideas with people coming from different parts of the world. We do learn a lot from each other. NTU is a very student-centered university, and they actually got a very good a reputation for taking care of international students, and they always offer a high level of institutional support, catering all the needs of the specific students, both inside the classroom and even on an individual basis. Whenever you have a problem, whatever it is, even the personal one, but if it can interrupt your study, they're going to be there for you, and they will help you to get through all. And the lecturers are very supportive, helpful, approachable, and they are always happy to make appointments with students whenever they need them to give or to provide one-to-one help with their writing, dissertation, or even personal advice. They are fantastic. I love them very much. Nottingham is a lively and peaceful city with a unique local culture in the very heart of the UK. I think it's a perfect place to live and study. And when I studied there, I also took the chance to travel to Scotland, to Ireland, and also some other cities in Europe. And it's such an amazing and unforgettable experience. Now I'm very happy about my decision. I'm very confident whenever I teach in front of the class, whatever the class it is, because I believe that I'm now a very qualified teacher with the TESOL certificate.
Hello, everyone. Welcome all of you to the webinar today. How are you today? Sam, Andrew, Vidhi.
Doing well.
Good, thank you.
Okay. And where are you, Thiện? Can I see your face? Hi, Thiện. Hi, Ngọc. So happy to see you today. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you ready? Okay. Hi, Chi. Long time no see you.
Hi chị Chi.
Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well.
Hello Chi.
We are inviting on the guest. Okay, and now once again I would like to welcome all of you to the webinar today, and thank you so much for spending your precious time joining the meeting. My name is Diệu Hảo. I'm the lecturer in Vnuk, and I'm also the person who is in charge of the MA TESOL program in this institute. Today, I'm so happy to be the moderator of this webinar and have chance to meet all of you. I hope that this webinar will help you understand more about the course, and when you know about the course, you will have a better decisions in the future. And now, before we officially start, I would like to give you an outline of the webinar. There are 4 parts of the webinar today. In the first part, I will give you an introduction to the Vnuk Institute for Research and Executive Education. In the second part, I'm going to give you a summary of the previous MA TESOL course. In the third part, I'm going to clarify the significance of the webinar. In the final part, there will be sharing sections. Okay, and let me start with the first introduction. Vnuk Institute for Research and Executive Education is the first international.
I think you have somehow muted. Tâm mute Mỹ im mẹ mồm rồi.
Okay. Sorry, can all of you hear me for now?
Yeah, that's really clear now, Hal. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, there's some error. And can you see my slide sharing for now?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I will say everything again. I would like to say thank you so much for joining the webinar today. And I would like to introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Diệu Hảo. I'm the lecturer in Vnuk, and I'm also a person who is in charge of the MA TESOL program in this institute. I hope that this webinar will help you understand more about the program and the living in the UK, so on. And now, before we start, I would like to give you an outline of this webinar today. There are 4 parts of the webinar. In the first part, I'm going to give you an introduction to the Vnuk Institute for Research and Executive Education. In the second part, I'm going to provide you with a summary of the previous MA TESOL course. In the third part, I'm going to clarify the significance of the webinar. And in the final part, there will be sharing sections. I think these sections are very important to you because you not only have chance to listen to a lot of useful information, but you also have chance to ask a lot of questions. Okay, so now let me start with the very first part. Introduction to VNUK Institute for Research and Executive Education. VNUK is the first international public higher education institute established on the basis of cooperation between the two governments of Vietnam and the United Kingdom. It's also the forerunner of VNUK International Public University. In VNUK, we offer a variety of learning programs established of supportive and professional teaching environments that motivate students and stimulates learning. Now I'm going to give you a summary of the previous MA TESOL course. Last year in 2020, we officially opened the first MA TESOL course with 5 students. They come from different regions in Vietnam, like Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Da Nang. They also graduated from different universities in Vietnam. For example, the University of Science and Technology, the University of Foreign Language Studies. Despite COVID-19, which makes it really difficult for them to fly to the UK to study the second term, they had to take the online classes. Luckily, the NTU professors provided them with wonderful online classes and teaching practices, and the students truly enjoy the class time. Moreover, students not only have chance to study with NTU lecturers, but they also learn a lot from Vietnamese lecturers who taught them in the very first term at VNUK. Currently, they are in UK now, and they continue their study to complete the master degree. I will clarify the significance of the webinar to all of you. When you join in the webinar today, you will have ability to have an online meeting with senior lecturers and the Associate Director of NTU Global to listen to and obtain a lot of useful information about the course, the learning programs, and the future international supports from NTU. Besides, you can listen directly to the experiences of the current MA TESOL students. The most important part is you have an opportunity to ask crucial questions about the course during the Q&A section to get further information. And now I will give you the information of the very important part, that is sharing sections. There are 4 sections in this part. In section 1, Dr. Amy Wong and Dr. Sam Barclay will give you an academic introduction to MA TESOL program. In the section 2, our current MA TESOL student, Mr. DP and Ms. Mỹ Ngọc, will give you an introduction to the student life in Nottingham and their experience about the course. In the 3rd section, Mr. Andrew Plant will talk about the practical issues and supports for international students. And the final section is the most important one, because in this section, you can either type the questions in the chat box or you can verbally ask the question. And you should note that in this section, please use English to communicate with the lecturers. Ở đây thì cho mình nói tiếng Việt một xíu ở phần này để cho mọi người dễ dàng nắm thông tin. Đó là sau khi tất cả mọi người lắng nghe toàn bộ những cái thông tin hữu ích mà thầy cô cũng như là các học viên hiện tại của chương trình MA TESOL chia sẻ, thì các bạn có những cái câu hỏi nào dành riêng cho các phần thì các bạn sẽ viết câu hỏi đó vào ở một chat box ở link MS Teams mà các bạn đã sử dụng. Và sau đó các bạn sẽ chờ cho đến khi mà chúng ta đến section 4 thì các bạn hoặc là viết câu hỏi đó và chúng tôi sẽ đọc câu hỏi lên để trả lời câu hỏi cho các bạn, hoặc là bạn có thể trực tiếp đặt câu hỏi cho các thầy cô. Và các bạn lưu ý giúp mình một chút, đó là tiếng Anh sẽ được sử dụng ở trong phần này để chúng ta dễ dàng trao đổi cùng với các thầy cô nhé. Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn. And now let's start with section 1. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Amy Wong, the course leader for MA English Language Teaching and MA TESOL at Nottingham Trent University, and Dr. Sam Barclay, the senior lecturer in English as a foreign language and teaching English to speakers of other languages. to share with all of you the MA TESOL program. So now please welcome Dr. Amy and Dr. Sam.
Thank you very much, Hao, and thank you for organizing this wonderful seminar. And a big welcome, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Amy Wang. I'm the course leader for MA TESOL at Nottingham Trent University. And my colleague Sam will be introducing our MA course with me today. So first of all, I would like to share my PowerPoint slides with all of you. Before you come to us, you might be wondering, where is Nottingham and where is our base? So first of all, Nottingham is based in the central part of England, and it's about 1 hour and 40 minutes from London by train. So this is, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Are you on slide 1 or slide 2 at the moment, Amy?
Sorry, once again, Sam?
You on slide 1 or slide 2 at the moment?
Slide 1 at the moment.
Perfect, no worries.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a map where Nottingham is. So as you can see, this is Nottingham, and it's in the central part of England, and above that is Scotland. Andrew will give you more information about where we are and the type of city that we are in. To be honest with you, Nottingham is really a great city for students. It's not too big and it's not too small, but Andrew will tell you all about it in a minute. So I'm going to show you, this is one of the very important buildings in our university, and this is where most of our lecture sessions and our seminars are based. Some students call it a Harry Potter building because of the shape, the space in this building. But because of the COVID-19 situation, we have blended learning at the moment. So a lot of our lecture sessions are online at the moment. But hopefully the COVID situation will be better, and then we can all go back to our classrooms. We are currently having teaching practice, and we are able to have face-to-face teaching practice at the moment with real language learners. I will be able to tell you more about it in a minute. So we are running the MA TESOL collaboration with Vnuk, and last year was the first year, and we are very encouraged that we had 5 students with us, and 3 of them are currently with us in Nottingham Trent University. So this is the 2nd year, and we are a team who believe that we can improve our course more and more. So we are hoping that we have a good start, but the 2nd year will be even better than the 1st year. So if you have IELTS score which is higher than 6.5, you are in a very good position to join us. And we welcome students who have a 2 and above degree in any subjects. I want to emphasize that we welcome students from all sorts of different backgrounds here, because we believe that we want a group of students who actually believe in education and who will come to join us, who will then incorporate education to English language teaching and English language education. And it's the maturity, it's the subject, the knowledge and skills that you bring from different subject area to the course. So if you have any degree, we welcome you to our course. So this is our vision. We really believe that we can help students to develop to their full potential. So we will be looking at each student's potential, and we will be helping them to develop that. So as lecturers, we try to get to know you as an individual. We look at your strengths, we look at your potential, we look at areas that you can develop further and help you to develop that into your full potential. And we will try as much as we can to work with you. And we will work with you as a team. The second part is that we want to educate students to be highly competent English language professionals. So we will be talking about the knowledge, we will be talking about the skills, we will be talking about a lot of practice in English language teaching areas. So education is what we believe as a team, and we really want you to come and join us and to really bring the education to your country, to different parts in the world. And we do have students from a range of different countries, and it's really encouraging that they come to us, they reflect on the education, English language education in their own country. And we have a lot of really interesting discussion, and then they're bringing English language education back to their home country. So the final part of our vision is that we want to inspire students to be competent intercultural communicators in a multicultural space. Like what I said before, every year we attract students from different cultural backgrounds, and we come along. So the students will not just be learning from us, but they will be learning from their classmates. So students will be able to communicate with their classmates in a multicultural language classrooms. So it's really wonderful that we have students who are making friends with other students in different cultural backgrounds. And they can then, because of the differences, because of the similarities, they can have really a lot of reflection on how people might be doing different things in different cultural backgrounds. They might be questioning about their own beliefs. They might be reflecting on their beliefs. And finally, we really want students to build a sense of social responsibility. To make a difference in their country, to make a difference, to make valuable contribution to their society. And we emphasize very much on the global responsibility and the social responsibility in our course. So if you feel that our words really resonate in your mind, you are really, really welcome to join us. So there are a few special features in our course. The first one is that we place students in the center of our course. We really want to help you to develop, to reach your potential. A lot of students came to us and they told us that we are not just learning academically, we are actually learning to develop our self. So we are not just looking at academic development, we are also looking at the personal development. Unlike a lot of the MA courses which actually emphasize very much on the theoretical part, we actually want to be able to connect practice as well as the theories. So what we try to do is to place the practical teaching at the center of MA TESOL. And quite often I use an analogy that it's like when you teach ballet dancers. If you don't give them a platform, it will be very difficult for them to learn to perform. So in our course, we bring the real language classrooms into the university. We recruit the real language learners in the Nottingham area, and we actually bring the learners to Nottingham Trent University, and then we give students a lot of support. We support them to plan their sessions, we observe their sessions, and then the most important part is we give feedback to the students. The feedback sessions are really valuable in terms of reflecting on their teaching practice, in terms of what they can reflect on what they believe, how did they feel about their language teaching, and there are also some language classroom management aspects that we can observe, and we can discuss very basic parts like voice projection, like the use of space in the classrooms. So it's really fascinating, and we always run out of time in the reflection and feedback session. And we have so much to discuss in the sessions. And then we link back to the theories that we discuss in the classrooms. So the next part of our special feature is that we really look at the students' development. We look at their teaching skills. We provide not just the teacher feedback, but we also ask the students to come together and give each other feedback and have that self-reflection and evaluation in a multicultural classroom. And I want to emphasize the multicultural emphasis, because it's really because of the differences, because of the similarities, it really brings up a lot of very, very interesting discussion there. The next feature is that we provide students with highly supportive environment. And Sam and I and our whole team, we believe that it's the support that we provide you that will help you to grow and to bring the transformation in you. So we really believe in education and a lot of support that we can give to you. The final one is that we believe in developing and consolidating students' research skills to widen their opportunities for further education and development. So we have a lot of students who actually come to us and realize that they really love doing research. So we have a whole module called Research Methods, and they really do really well with research methods, and they think, oh, I actually realized that I love doing research. And some of our students actually continue to do their PhD, and a few of them receive full-funded PhD in other university, and some will actually they are thinking of continue to do the PhD with us. So it really, MA TESOL will open up a lot of opportunities for you, whether you want to continue to be English language teacher, or whether you want to be an English language teacher in the future, or you want to be a PhD student. So this will be the module that you will be taking if you decide to join us. The first module is what we call it Exploring a Long Fact module. So it's a year-long module, and it's where we place the teaching practice. So this is a module called Exploring Language Learning and Teaching. This module will take 40 credits. So it's a combination of language teaching with the theory of language teaching and also teaching practice. So an important part is about, we will try to guide you to think of how learners learn a language. And this is an area where we call it second language acquisition. So it's not, as a language teacher, it's not enough that you get to know how you can teach. A very important part is how you can actually learn how learners will learn. So the next module is called Describing English Language, and it's where we provide you with the subject knowledge, because you will be teaching English. So what's the sound system in English? What's the grammar? What's the vocabulary in English? And how you are going to analyze language use in the context. How do people use the language? Does English language change across time, etc.? So another core module that you will be taking is called Materials and Assessment in Language Teaching. This is a module that Sam is co-teaching with our colleague, Dr. Sarah Khan. So Sam, could you please tell us a little bit about this module?
Yeah, of course, Amy, of course, thank you. So yeah, Materials and Assessment in Language Teaching is a module that essentially prepares you for your role as a teacher in a very practical and effective way. So what we do is we talk through how we use materials, how materials are developed, and then some of the principles and some of the ways in which we can adapt the textbooks to best suit the needs of our students, because often textbooks are written for all students, and that means they might miss some of the needs of your students. And so on this course, we help you modify some of the textbook materials so that they better meet the needs of your own students. And then after we've thought about the materials, we then switch focus and we think about how we can assess our students' knowledge to check that they have developed knowledge of the things that we've taught. And actually on this course, there'll be a chance of adapting textbook materials, but also developing your own assessments. And so in that way, it really prepares you for standing up in a classroom and teaching by yourself. I think it's just gone back to slide 1, so I'll just navigate forward to the slide that we were on.
Thank you, Sam.
No worries. So that's materials and assessment in language teaching. And then the final module, as you can see on the right-hand side, is research methods. And this is a module that Amy and I teach together. And we have lots of fun teaching this module because it's really practical. It's very discursive, and there's lots of opportunities for us to challenge the students, but also for the students to grow and really engage in research, both understanding research, and so we work on how you can understand research in the field of English language teaching or TESOL, and that means like understanding the different parts of a research article, or understanding statistics, so you can understand, so you can comprehend the results of studies. And then after that, we look at your own research, and we actually ask you to do your own research studies as well. And so we talk through different methodologies, different types of analyses, and we give you the chance to do your own small-scale research study to investigate an area of English language teaching, an area of language learning that you're interested in.
Yes, thank you, Sam. So like what Sam said, the purpose of research methods is really to build you into the dissertation stage. So we are a team who believe in scaffolded support. So we look at what we want you to achieve and we break it down into different steps. And then we will bring you step by step into the final stage of the dissertation. So a very exciting part of our course is that you will be able to develop your own research projects, and then you will be writing up a long piece of work, which is called dissertation. And some of you might be feeling, wow, a little bit nervous about the dissertation, but don't worry, we will be helping and supporting you to build the knowledge and skills that you need for your dissertation. And you will be allocated a supervisor who will be helping you and guide you to the final dissertation submission. So finally, you will need 180 credits to complete the MA TESOL course. And among all the modules, you will also be able to choose one option module. So the option module could be the areas that you want to specialize after you finish the MA TESOL course. So if you're thinking that you are very interested in technology after you complete the MA TESOL course, you want to be the expert in distance learning, or you want to use the technology to teach your students, then this will be the module for you, which is called Blended Learning and Co. So some of our students took the module, and one of them is now actually working with a company that develops computer softwares, programs for young learners. So she decided that she's so interested in developing the materials and softwares that young learners can use. So she then joined the course. Another very interesting course is teacher education. So if you are passionate about that, you are going to train teachers how to teach and bring the education and make an influence this will be the module for you. So if you have a few years of teaching experience and you want to do teacher training or teacher education, and this will be the module for you. So the next one is teaching English to young learners. So if you are interested in teaching children English or teaching in the primary schools or secondary schools in the future, this will be the module for you. A very important part of our option modules is vocabulary, and it's one of the areas where Sam's expertise is. And Sam, could you please tell us a little bit about vocabulary?
Yeah, sure. So vocabulary is, we discuss the effective teaching, the effective learning, and also the effective assessment of vocabulary. Often people think when they teach vocabulary, it's as simple as just presenting a word form and its meaning, and then students will develop knowledge of that word. But actually what we talk about in vocabulary is issues such as, well, what is a word? And how should we space learning so learners most effectively develop knowledge of a word? And how about kind of deeper aspects of word knowledge, like the use of a word, whether a word is common in an academic context or a scientific context or a medical context? How can we teach those aspects of word knowledge? How can we assess that? So they're the kinds of questions that we try to answer in the vocabulary module. And then you can see that we have other modules as well. So for example, we have materials development, and then teaching speaking and listening, teaching reading and writing. And then we also have modules on academic English and English for professional purposes. But I think, Amy, we should stress that these modules are only offered subject to demand. So if enough students want to do a specific module, then we can run that module.
Exactly. And then every year we run about 3 to 4 modules, but it's really subject to the demand. And some of our really popular modules include vocabulary, teaching English to young learners, teacher education, intercultural communication is also really popular, and blended learning. So these are probably the top 4 option modules that are chosen by students year by year, but it doesn't mean that we cannot run other modules. So every year is slightly different in that sense. Okay, so I'm also going to talk, Sam would talk a little bit about the dissertation. So Sam, can you please tell us a little bit about the dissertation?
Yeah, sure. So the key information is here on the slides. The dissertation is something that we're thinking about a lot at the moment because the students are just about to start on their journey. And this is a journey that's going to finish in September. So it's a long project. And maybe you feel like, the students might be alone on that. And, dissertation is your study, but throughout the whole process of the dissertation, you work closely with a supervisor who offers you his or her expertise, both in research methods or a specific area, to really support your development and to support the development of your research. And actually, even though a lot of our students initially think the dissertation is really challenging, at the end of the project, they might reflect that it's one of the most rewarding parts of the whole course. And they're typically really, really proud of the work they produce. And some students go on and they take their dissertation research into PhD study. Other people present the results of their dissertation at international conferences. They might use that dissertation to really make a difference, to make an influence on the local context in which they want to teach. So you can see that the dissertation is a 15,000 word research study. I know that number sounds very big, it sounds very scary, but I promise you by the end of the project, you'll want more words than that. You'll be cutting words down to make the deadline. It's completely a free choice of topic, but we do obviously ask that it's within a TESOL area, and then you'll be working with a supervisor who shares that area of expertise. And it's an opportunity to extend your development in one area. So you across the whole MA TESOL program, you're going to develop knowledge in a number of different areas, and then you choose one of those areas to specialize in for the dissertation. So, for example, it might be young learners, it might be intercultural communication or vocabulary, and then you explore one specific part of that area in lots of depth. So it's a chance to really drill down on an area in which you're interested.
Thank you very much, Sam. Can you also tell us a little bit about our teaching?
Sure, yeah. So I think the students who are with us will talk a bit about this later on as well. But I think the points that I would like to emphasize here is that the students are at the center of our teaching. And I know that sounds obvious. You think, well, students should always be at the center of teaching, but often that's not the case. It might be that the lecturer is just standing at the front talking to the students, and it really doesn't matter who the students are. Yeah, the content of the lecture won't change. Well, that's very different in our case. Yeah, we work with the students to develop the students' knowledge. We really believe that knowledge is created through discussion and through interaction with students and with students interacting with each other. So what does that mean? Well, that means we have lots of discussion and we talk about applying knowledge. We encourage our students to work in groups, in class and outside of class. And we also ask our students to make presentations about certain areas, and then we give feedback and the other classmates will give feedback. So it's a really practical course in which the students, which you will always be involved in class. And then in terms of the personal interest in development of each student, so this means that we're not only interested in your academic development, we're also interested in your kind of holistic development. And so how do we do this? Well, we offer tutorials. So when you join, you'll be assigned a personal tutor who will meet you a number of times a year to discuss any issues you have, but also to work with you on your future goals and to perhaps steer you towards certain career paths. And the tutors are there to give you extra help when needed. Also, your module tutors will give you lots of help with your assignments and those types of things. And we also have an academic English course as well. So that means that there's a lecturer who will work with you to develop your academic English, specifically related to the essays and the presentations that you have to write or make. Okay.
Thank you very much, Sam. That was really wonderful. So we want to emphasize that you do have a live, we do have very interesting socials. And one of our proudest moments is when our students graduate. So you can see a lot of joy and happiness in our graduation. And we also invited some of our graduates to come back to talk to us, to our current students, to share the knowledge, to share the tips, to give the talks on their dissertation. So you can see some of the very interesting socials that we have. Yesterday, we just had an outdoor session in one of the parks in Britain, which is a park near us, because we want to challenge the idea of the four-wall classrooms as the boundaries of the classrooms. So Sam will tell you all about that. It's the nickname of that session is not boundaryless classroom. It's called picnic class. So that will be something for you to think about what settings should English language education be. How can you use not just the classrooms? Okay, so it's very exciting that we are going to invite two of our current students to have a conversation with us. So you can know from the students' perspective, how do they feel, what their experience is. So Sam, can I invite you back?
Sure, thanks, Amy.
Talk with Tien.
Yeah, so Tien, are you there? Do you want to turn on your microphone and your camera?
Yeah, I'm here.
Maybe you can stop sharing your slides, Amy.
Yes, I'm going to stop sharing the slides.
Hi, Tien. Good to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So I've got a couple of questions for you. So the first one is, could you tell us a bit about yourself and why you decided to study MA TESOL? Why did you decide to do this program?
The first thing I want to say is I want to say thank you to NTU staff and Vnuk staff for the invitation and give me a chance to share my experience and to be here with you today. I'm so happy. My name is TRINH. I'm 26 years old, and I have been in Nottingham for about 3 months so far, and I used to learn civil engineering in my university. But after I graduated, I felt civil engineering job is kind of boring for me, and I tried to find another job. I talked for the children in my neighborhood, and I felt that it's really suitable for me. And then I decided to find a teaching career course for me to learn in the future. And I found the joint program between NTU and Vnuk now, and I am learning this course, and I'm so happy. Yeah, that's why I'm here with you today.
That's so interesting. Thank you so much, Tien. That's great. So it sounds like you're really passionate about education, which is something that Amy and I both love, and we're both really passionate about education as well. So has that passion developed over the last year?
Yeah. When I choose this course, I kind of really like and I love education. But after I have a chance to meet Amy, to meet Sam, to meet very dedicated teacher in this course, I even love education more. I felt education have really key effect for the better world, for the happy life of many people. And thanks to the teaching of my lecturer, I felt, and I really developed my love for education. Yeah.
I couldn't agree with everything you've said more, Tien. That's great. So you talk a bit about so some people before they join an MA program, they have an image of what the MA program is going to be like, and they might imagine a big lecture theatre with the lecturers just talking to the students and the students sitting quietly and taking notes. Mm-hmm. Is that your experience? Is that what happens on the MA TESOL program?
Actually, I didn't have many chances to learn in the real theater, in the real lecture room, because of COVID-19. I had to learn online a lot. But also, I still have a chance to learn in the real classroom for some session, and I felt, first of all, it's really modern. It's everything is very good for students to learn. About the big room, I think, although it's big, actually, but everyone will have a chance to discuss. We have a chance to learn and to acquire knowledge. And I think the big room is not a big problem. Yeah.
Mm. So that's great. So it sounds like you have opportunities to ask questions to your lecturers, to ask questions to your students, your classmates, to discuss issues, to disagree with your lecturer.
Yeah.
All those options. And talking about classmates, Tien, could you tell us a bit about your classmates and your kind of relationships with your classmates?
My classmate is multicultural. They come from many countries in the world, from Slovakia, from India, from China, Japan, many places in the world, and they are really, really friendly. They they are always willing to help me with studying, with life, with many other stuff in my life. And we had a kind of big group in social media, and we also have a small group for practice, for discussing, and it's really helpful, I think.
That's really great. And I know that I know that some of our students were also in touch with you when you were in VNUK, and there was kinds of, even though you were in Vietnam, there was definite links between the two programs, which is great to see. Really good. Thinking about Nottingham, Tim, so you're now in Nottingham, aren't you? And it's lovely and sunny today, which is good. So could you tell us a bit about your life in Nottingham?
The life in Nottingham, I love that. First of all, the weather and the scenery in Nottingham is really really satisfactory. The weather when it's sunny, wow, it's kind of really beautiful. The weather is cool. Yeah, I love that. And the scenery, the building, some structure in here, I think it's very beautiful. Yeah. I had a part-time job here, and I also have time to relax, time to chill with my friend. And I think, I think, the life in Nottingham is good for me.
Very nice. Time to relax. I'm very jealous of that, Tien. So I guess the final question, and perhaps the most important question, is, and we've got students here who will be sat at home in Vietnam, and they'll be thinking, should I do this program? So what would you say to them? Would you recommend this collaboration between VNUK and NTU? What would you say to them?
I would like to, after 1 year, after nearly 1 year studying in Nottingham and in VNUK, I would like to recommend this course for the listener of the webinar today, because it's really helpful, and for me it's kind of helped me a lot for many in many ways, from knowledge, from life, from experience. Yeah, it's really helped me to develop all of that. Yeah,
that's fantastic. It sounds as if you've developed not only academically but also kind of personally, which is fantastic.
Sure.
So I think we're now going to hear from another one of our current students. Amy, you're going to speak to Nok, yeah? So thank you so much, Tien. And I'm sure there'll be lots of questions for you. So if you can hang around and answer those questions later on, is that okay?
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Good man, thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Sam and Tien. So now, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, and before you came to join us, what did you do and what your experience were?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ngọc, and I'm from Hanoi. I just 22 years old, and I just graduated last year. Even before the course, I jumped up into master course immediately. My previous major is public administration. That's quite different, but I already plan to learn education since I in 3rd year university, because I did try several jobs to know what is my passion. So yeah.
That's great. Thank you, Ngao. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with VNUK first, and then with us at NTU, your whole experience?
Yes, so I will mention about my experience since I decided to go with MA education. So I start to decide the country first, and then I will go with UK, because of course we're teaching English. UK is the best choice, and we just need 1 year to learn. So okay, I can finish this course soon to come back to my country to have hands-on experience. And then I decided to review quite a lot of the university, the course, the program, and I decided to go with NTU because the course is super practical, and I did read a lot of feedback from alumni in the Facebook, a website, a lot. And then, but you know that because of COVID-19, I did prepare it in 2019, but yeah, so I cannot go to UK. So I decided to search some in Google, and then I saw VNUK, this joint program. And then, before this course, I decided to move into Da Nang. And I think this is, like, how to say, I feel so lucky to have this chance, because this is the first course between VNUK and NTU. So even with COVID-19, so I can learn, I have chance to be NTU student. And I think it's quite the step by step for me, because I live in Hanoi, so I try to go far from my house a little bit to Da Nang, and this is the beautiful city to live. The people is great. And then, I come to UK. It's too far from my family to have independent life. So I love that.
That's great. Thank you. It sounds like you did a lot of research on different courses, even across different countries, and you decided to come to us. So we are very lucky to have you too now. So you mentioned the COVID-19 situation, and it's very important for the participants today also to know, do you actually feel safe to be at NTU in the UK at this time?
Yes, of course. When before coming here, both my parents and I still worry a lot, because you see the cases in Vietnam. Even just one case is oh my gosh, COVID is killing us. So, but coming here, everything is safe. We have the free test. Even every day, if you want, it's okay. People wearing masks in outside, yes, and we also have the hand wash everywhere without touching the bottom. So I feel it's safe, and I think now already in the international student can have the free vaccine in the UK, and we are waiting for that. If students above 13, they already can have this, but I'm too young, so not yet. So I feel safe, and even when I go from Hanoi to Da Nang at this moment, Da Nang also have quite a lot of COVID-19 cases, but everything will be fine. So because we don't know about the situation at the moment, so we have to cope with unexpected problems. So I still feel I made the good decision.
Thank you very much. That's great. That's wonderful. Let me ask you the last question, which is about your career plan. So after the MA TESOL, we talked a lot about education, English language education. So what would you like to do after the MA TESOL course?
Of course, I want to be the teacher because I did. So that's why I come here. I want to be the teacher. But after this course, it changed my mindset. We're thinking a lot about how to be the good teacher, what are our educational principles. So it's still a long way to go, but I think that I aware about the situation, so I try to be better. But honestly, I want to say it to others, potential students, is that during this course, what I can learn is of course it's knowledge, but I can learn the way the teacher teached us. It's so super inspiring. Before coming here, I cannot imagine that the teacher could be like this, because for the whole my life I live in Vietnam, so it's Asian culture a lot. So coming here, I changed my perspective somehow, and we can see from many different perspectives everything. We try to give the question and find out how to answer that. So I think even I cannot be the teacher, we don't know what will happen in the future, but what I can learn here is still useful.
Thank you so much. Now, it's amazing. And it's also amazing to see how much you've grown in the course as well. That's really wonderful. So how can I hand back to you? Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for all of the information about the course that Dr. Amy and Dr. Sam have to share. And of course, I am really excited about the experiences that Ngọc and Thiện have to share. I hope that after listening to the experience, the information about the course, all of you, our candidates, will find the course more meaningful and interesting. Okay, and now I would like to invite Mr. Andrew Plant, the Associate Director from NTU Global Team, to join the webinar to talk about the practical issues and support for students such as finance, accommodation, part-time job, so on. Please welcome Mr. Andrew.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Yes, as Hao says, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about Nottingham, the city that we live in, about NTU more generally, and give you some practical advice on coming here as well, should you choose to do that. And I'm also joined by my colleague Chia, who's based in Vietnam, and she can answer any questions that you have, of course, and she might like to just join in and add anything that I miss, because I'm bound to miss something. So first of all, I thought I would show you a beautiful picture of one of our buildings. This is the Arkwright building, and it's actually my office is in this building. And also share with you some interesting language, because you're all interested in language. And so in Nottingham, people call each other duck, as in duck, which is quite strange. And I'm not from Nottingham, and I don't have the accent from Nottingham. But when I first came, people started calling me Duck, and people often say, "Ay up me duck, ay up me duck," and that just means hello. And duck really, it just means friend. So don't be surprised when you come to Nottingham if people call you Duck. It's an affectionate term. So now you can sound like a local when you come to Nottingham, and you can say "Ay up me duck" to everybody you meet. Okay, so a little bit about my university and Nottingham. We've been winning some awards recently. Over the last few years, we've won awards for being University of the Year in various categories. And one thing I wanted to highlight was the teaching. You may have already heard from Sam and Amy that they're very, very caring and attentive teachers, but the university as a whole has a program which is there to support students, called Success for All, and we also really, really focus on our teaching. We are not a research intensive university. I would say we are a teaching intensive university, and that means that we focus very heavily on that and the support that we give our students. And every student is treated differently, and it's very, very important that you know that we have this award for teaching excellence. We have this gold award, which really shows, I suppose, to everybody that we're very strong in this area, and we want to support our students through strong teaching. Amy mentioned where we are, Nottingham, and Nottingham is a city on the River Trent. That's why we're called Nottingham Trent University. We're named after the river, and that was a river that originally the Vikings travelled up, and they settled in Nottingham, and they were called, well, the leader of the tribe of Vikings was called Snot. So Snottingham meant Snot's settlement, and then that later became Nottingham. It was a small town, a trading town, and then textiles made it very, very rich, and so certainly a few hundred years ago, knitted textiles made Nottingham a very rich city, and then lace, Nottingham lace, which is a very fine textile, was exported all over the world and made Nottingham a very rich city. And from there it grew into a modern city, and now it's very much known for students, of course. We have a lot of students here, but it's also known for the history and the myth of Robin Hood, who you may have heard of. He was an outlaw who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. We also have some beautiful architecture. You may recognize that building. that is Woollerton Hall, and that was in the Batman films as Wayne Manor, as where Batman lived. So some beautiful old architecture, some lovely new architecture. We have a couple of football teams. The most famous is Nottingham Forest, and we're very much known for fashion as well. I think the designer Paul Smith came to our university, and his wife taught at our university, and so fashion is produced here, and their headquarters is still here as well. I wanted to show you some pictures of the city to show you what it looks like. It's really a young city because of all the students. So the average age is very young compared to a lot of cities. It's also very affordable because it's not in the southeast of England, which is very expensive. And because there's so many students, lots of things are geared towards students and their lives. So you get lots of discounts, and the rent of property is very cheap. And also there's not many transport costs because it's very easy to get around. It's not a very big city. So we have 60,000 students, and then the city itself, I guess, is known for lots of small shops, some big shops, but a very sort of bohemian feel to the city. So we have an art gallery called the Nottingham Contemporary, which is a fantastic modern art gallery. Woollerton Hall that I've mentioned. We have one of the world's largest travelling fairs comes to Nottingham every year, called the Goose Fair. Lots of independent fashion shops and places to eat, cuisine from all over the world, and old buildings that have been developed into new. This is our the main square, the Market Square in the middle of Nottingham, and that's one of our city council buildings. And in winter they have an ice rink, and in summer they have a beach that's built there for people to enjoy. There's Nottingham Castle, and you'll see some caves there. Nottingham is also called the City of Caves. It's built on a network of caves in soft rock that people used to live in, and that we used as prisons and air raid shelters and all sorts of things. There's lots of history. There's a big cricket ground, and yeah, lots of nice independence. That's a theatre just around the corner from Nottingham Trent University as well. And that's an area called Hockley, which I guess is a more bohemian and cool part of Nottingham, which has lots of bars and nice restaurants. Hopefully this video will work. It just shows you the city campus. We have 4 campuses at our university. You'll be based on the city campus, and this is just a small video to hopefully show you what it looks like. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that when I speak to students from Vietnam and from other countries, is the facilities at NTU are really something that they talk about, that they have access to all of these great facilities right on campus. So whether you're interested in sports and the gym, or you're interested in doing something creative, or just generally the learning and teaching environments, I think they're really, really impressed by those. So I wanted to show them to you. One thing that's very important is to sort out accommodation when you come to the UK. There are university halls, as we call them, and we have about 7,000 rooms on campus. Some students will choose to come into those, and one of the more flexible places that we have is called Sandby Hall, and that's a picture of it down there in the corner. And the price for that is for a semester is nearly £3,000. It's quite expensive, I think, because you get everything paid for. So you get your internet paid for, your heating, your electricity, and it's a secure accommodation block as well. So university halls tend to be a bit more expensive than if you find a private house that you could share with people. And some people choose to do that instead. But we can help you with that accommodation, just to let you know that there are plenty of options for you in Nottingham. We have what's called a students' union, so that's the Nottingham Trent Students' Union, and that has over 110 societies that are run. So when you come to the UK, you'll realise that the universities are very, very diverse. We have students from many, many countries that come to UK universities, and that means that you get to meet those people, and it creates a global network for you for after your studies. And one way of really getting to know people is to join societies. Whatever you're interested in, it might be something for fun, it might be something more aligned to your studies, or something you're just interested in finding out more about. University is a really good place to do these things and to experiment and throw yourself into something new. We also have amazing sports facilities. We have a campus called the Clifton campus, and that's where we have all of our sports fields, and we have a very large sports centre there as well. So if you're interested in sports, then you can pretty much play anything you like. We even have American football teams, which is really, really unusual, I guess, in the UK. One thing that we mentioned and that Amy and Sam mentioned was support for you. We feel that it's our duty to make sure that you succeed when you come to our university. We have determined that you're suitable to come and allowed you to come to our university. Therefore, we feel that you should succeed in your course. So we offer lots and lots of support. One of the things we're very, very strong at is employability, which means getting graduates jobs after they leave. And we have about 140 people employed by our university to help our students and our graduates get placements and jobs. So you can see how important that is. That's a lot of people working to make sure that the graduates get those jobs. But we also have lots of areas of academic support, including academic English support on your course, financial support to give you guidance on how to manage your money. We have a dedicated international student support centre, and we give students individual support and health and well-being support as well. Particularly mental health is a focus at the moment. So if you want to find out more about any of those things, there's a link on that page, or just search for support on our website and you'll find out a lot more detail about those. As I mentioned, we're a very global university. Over 150 countries are represented on campus, and we really focus on support for those international students. We give students support through financial awards, through scholarships and rewards. We have a big ceremony for that as well. But we also have global lounges and this international student support centre that I talked about. And the global lounge is really where you can find out about opportunities to meet other people. We have language cafes where you can practice your languages if you wanted to learn another language as well. But we also have cultural lunches where students come and have a lunch on a Thursday, which is free to any student. And usually that's themed towards a country or a culture. And then there's lots and lots of activities that the Global Lounge runs, which are for fun, but also for you to find out more about issues in the world as well. So a little bit about visas and applications. Really, this is a very basic flowchart of how you can go through this process. So first of all, you are applying to VN UK. So your application will go to them and they will pass that application through to us, which we'll have a look at, and Amy and Sam will look at that application, and they may want to interview you as well. If you're accepted onto the course, then we would like you to do that within 8 weeks if possible, and you'll need to supply us with your transcripts, but you'll also need to supply us with an English language qualification. If all of those requirements to get onto the course are met, then you will be accepted. And you'll begin your studies in Vietnam in September. Now, half of the course is run in Vietnam and half of the course is run in the UK. So to get to the UK, you need to get a visa. And we would advise you to get a Tier 4 visa. Sorry, it's not called Tier 4 anymore. It's called a student route visa. Now, to get your student route visa, you need to pay a deposit to NTU for some of your fees that you would pay to us when you come, and that secures you with us, and it allows us to give you a visa number, which is called a CAS. That's called a Certificate of Acceptance of Studies, and you use that number to apply for your visa at the embassy in Vietnam. So as soon as you've got that, you are accepted to come to us, and once you've got your visa, then you can book your transport to the UK. Way before that, you can book your accommodation as well. So start looking into your accommodation as soon as you know that you're studying with VN UK. So really, that's a simple flowchart. We can go into much more detail with you once you've applied, and we've got lots and lots of help in Vietnam through my colleagues there, including Chi. In terms of finance, I know the UK can seem quite expensive. Even for people that live in the UK, it can seem quite expensive. So I've said their accommodation is roughly £1,600 to £3,800 for a semester, for a half year. And if you're looking at food, shopping at the supermarket, it's about £1,000 for half a year. Obviously, if you eat in restaurants are much more expensive in the UK than they are in Vietnam. So you can use a lot more money eating out. And the total cost for tuition on top of tuition are £5,000 to £7,500. That's everything: your books, your transport, your food, everything. And the fees are £6,000 to come to NTU. In terms of working in the UK, you heard from our students that they can get part-time jobs, and we'd really encourage you to do that because you meet more people, you have a really good experience of doing that, and it gives you an extra income as well if you want to do that. So you can work for 20 hours during the term time, and in holiday periods you can work for longer, you can work for 40 hours per week. A lot of our students take casual work, but we also have a job agency called Unitemps, which allows you to get office work and other types of work, including working at the university itself. You just need to get a national insurance number, which is very easy to get. You simply apply for that. And at the moment, the guidance for the student route visa to get is that you can get a graduate route visa afterwards. So if you come on this student route visa, that means you can stay in the UK for 2 years. Now, we're not 100% certain of that because the government is still issuing new guidance, which will come through in July. But so far, they've said that if you graduate with a UK degree, then you can go on to this graduate route visa, which means that you can stay and work in the UK for 2 years. So at the moment, we assume that means that students from VN UK that take this master's program with us will be able to do that. And we really hope that you can. We've talked a little bit about COVID-19. You may have seen in the news, if you've been following it, about the UK, that we have a very successful vaccine program. And that means that most adults will be vaccinated by next month. And that's going very, very well. And then as an international student and as an adult, you will also be eligible for a vaccine when you come to the UK if you haven't already received one in Vietnam. We still have restrictions here, but they're very much easing. So now we're allowed to meet many people outside, fewer people inside. And as of next month, we hope that things will become much more normal. The government plans to release all easing of restrictions. And obviously, the safety and security of our students and our staff is the utmost importance to us on campus. So we have lots and lots of guidance on campus about how people should interact, and that is adhered to very strictly. So the safety of our students is incredibly important. Obviously, we're seeing how things progress because travel around the world is very difficult at the moment, but we're going to try and make that as easy as possible for any students that want to come to NTU. And there's a lovely picture of the DICE building again, where you'll be taught. And that is all I have to say. I don't know whether, Chi, you have anything you would like to add at this point that I might have missed.
Thank you, Andrew, and hello to everyone. I think that you cover almost all the things related to the application process. as well as the support from the university at the moment. Yeah, so I think that we can wait for any student who have any questions, and we can help them with that. Thank you.
See you.
Okay, the connection. Okay, it's good for now. Hello, Andrew. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry for the connection. Okay, so thank you, Andrew. I think that the information you have just provided is very helpful, because I think that I understand how people concerned about the accommodation, the COVID-19, the visa procedure, the support from the diverse community. So I think that what you have to share is really important, and I hope that students will feel more and more comfortable. And now I think that you all have just going through the 3 important sections, and now it's time for our candidates to ask the questions. You can either type the questions in the chat box, and we will read the questions and answer for you, or you can directly ask the teachers here. So Samsung, would you like to ask the questions?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for hosting such an amazing webinar. And well, it is really informative, and I think that all the things that I need to know is already answered. But I have one thing. It is a little bit separate, but like I'm planning to study at NTU this year. However, I have a fiance, and who wants to go with me. So if he goes with me, so how long could he stay in England? And can he stay in like I'm about to rent like a room in a dormitory? So could he stay with me, or yeah? So can you tell me more about that? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samsung. And Andrew, can you answer this question for her?
Yeah, so you can bring dependents with you on the visa that you have. They have to be self-sufficient. So that means that the government can't support them in any way financially. So there has to be financial support for them to come with you when they come. But yes, you are allowed to bring dependents. In terms of accommodation, you would need to get accommodation that is suitable for 2 people to stay in one room. That's not always the case with university accommodation. Most of it are single rooms. So you might need to find private accommodation, and our accommodation office can help you to do that, so that you could get a room that is suitable for more than one person. But yeah, it's possible.
Thank you.
Is that clear for you, Shu?
Yes, I get it. Thank you so much.
Okay, are there any questions that you need us to answer?
There are a couple of questions in the chat, Hal. So
yeah,
one of them is it possible to take any available PhD course which is related to English language teaching in NTU after the MA TESOL course? Can you please let me know more about that? Sam and Amy, do you we offer PhDs in English language teaching?
Yes, we do. We welcome PhD application in our course. So both Sam and I and our colleagues will be able to supervise PhD students too. Yeah. So if you are thinking of PhD, welcome to us. Yeah, Sam, do you have anything to add?
No, not so. You mentioned doing a PhD at NTU, and I think Amy's covered that. Sometimes if it's an area of interest that isn't covered by our research expertise, then we can also get in touch with people in our network at different universities to recommend certain students for PhDs. So, for example, we have some of our former students are now doing PhDs in other universities around the UK because we just didn't have that expertise at NTU. So we've helped them go on and kind of realise their aspirations of finishing a PhD.
Yes. Okay, so Thank you so much, Amy and Sam. And now we are having another question. It's like, I'm currently working as an accounting lecturer at a public college with IELTS 6.10 and MBA my qualification. I'm taking IELTS test this June with target 6.5. I would like to know whether I can enroll this program. So Amy and Sam, can you please answer?
Yes, definitely. You are very welcome to join us. What we would suggest is that you submit your application to us, and then what we will offer, if you meet all the requirements, the entry requirements, we will give you an offer which is called conditional offer. So the conditional offer, then the condition will include IELTS 6.5. So when you achieve the IELTS score, then you can you will then receive another letter which is called unconditional offer. So you will be able to join us that way. We also have pre-sessional English language programs, which we welcome anybody who has the IELTS score 6.0. It's an intensive English language course before any of the university courses. And Sam works in a PEEP course as well. So Sam, can you please tell us a little bit more about the pre-sessional English, please?
Yeah, sure. So the pre-sessional English course is for students, as Amy mentioned, who haven't met the English language requirements of their course. But if they pass the pre-sessional course, then they are, yeah, I think Andrew's just put a link into the chat box about that, which is great. If they pass the pre-sessional course, then they can go on to study their main course. Then. So in this case, it would be the MA TESOL. The pre-sessional course is really great. I think, well, I'm biased, of course, because I'm involved with it, but it's a really great preparatory course that deals with academic writing, academic reading, speaking and listening. And it's an opportunity for you to develop those kind of academic English skills and knowledge of academic English that will really stand in good stead for your main course. There is a fee involved in that, but I think that's covered in the link that Andrew's just shared. But what was I going to say? There was something else really important I was going to say, and it's just left my mind. So maybe it will come back in a few.
Does it take for the
take? That's what I was going to say. Thank you for prompting that. So the length of the course depends on your incoming language proficiency. So, for example, if you had a language proficiency of IELTS 5.5, then you would need to take a 10-week pre-sessional course. If you had an IELTS score of 6 and you needed a 6.5 to join your course, then you would be required to take a 6-week pre-sessional course. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And Amy, please.
Yeah, quite often we recommend students to join the pre-sessional course even if they have 6.5 as well, because as you know, the academic culture varies from one country to another. And it's not just for the students who need an IELTS 6.5. We had some graduates who actually who had IELTS 6.5, but they decided to join the pre-sessional course. They learned so much. So for their assignments, it really helped them a lot. So like what Sam said, it's a great program, and it's really, really useful for students.
And this year we have an online program as well. That also really useful.
Okay, thank you so much, Amy and Sam. We have another question. I have a question regarding the personal statement. What should I write in the personal statement? Can you clarify this question? Sam and Amy, please.
That is a really good question. So when you do the personal statement, first of all, is you put yourself in our shoe. What would we want to know about you? So please be as honest as possible when you write the personal statement. So first of all, why do you want to join our course? So what have you done before? And what are you going to do in the future? So what have you done before? What is your background? Why do you want to join our course? Did you have any volunteering activities, or what did you do in the past? And then secondly, the most important one that we will always look at is, why do you want to join our course? And so you put a lot of the reasons why you want to join our course. And the second part is for us to see where you are going. What are you going to do in the future? So it's very simple, past, present, and future in that sense. So Sam, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you said it all really well. That's fine, yeah. Covered everything.
Okay, thank you, Amy. And this is the question for Andrew or Vidhi. What kind of scholarship are open for this program's students?
Yeah, and unfortunately, fortunately as well, there are no scholarships for this program. The reason being is that we have reduced the fee in quite a large way for this partnership. So students will pay a small amount to VN UK in Vietnam, and then when they come to NTU, will pay £6,000. To give you an example, the course fee, total course fee for the MA TESOL, if you came to the UK for the entire time, is over £15,000. So it's much reduced. It's under half price already to get the same qualification. So that's why there is no scholarship. This arrangement allows you to take the same qualification for half price, essentially.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. I see somebody has just waved their hands. Can you raise your voice and ask the questions directly?
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Okay, so I'm currently holding an offer to study at NTU with English teaching, MA English language teaching program in this September. But can I transfer my offer from from that program to this joint program, or do I need to repeat the whole application process?
No, if you're in our system, then we can transfer you across programs. We may need to just look at your application again to make sure that it's suitable for this program. But yeah, that's no problem. So if you get in touch with me or Vidhi through How, or if you want to contact the admissions team or even speak to Chia as well, we can all help you to do that process.
Thank you.
Okay, and I would like to add some more information. So please send me an email and with all of their application form that you are having for now, and then I will forward it to Andrew and Vidhi, and they will give you another instruction. Thank you.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and there is one other person waving hands. Can I hear your voice?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to confirm the length of the whole course is how long?
That is a really good question. We talked about 1 year MA, but there are different points of time that you should be aware. So normally we start the term at the end of September. So, and then students submit their dissertation in September the following year. But the graduation is normally early December. So it really depends on where you count it, whether you count the time. So it's 1 year plus a few months of waiting your results for your dissertation, and then graduate in December the following year. Does that answer your question?
Yes, kind of. And so it means that so the deadline for the dissertation is in September. And then from September to December, I'll just wait for whatever result need to be, right?
Yes, that's correct. So
okay, so yeah, so the question is, can I stay in the UK during that time?
Andrew, can you answer the question?
Okay.
So stay in the UK for what time, sorry?
After they submit their dissertation and the graduation.
Yeah, so you're allowed to stay for 3 months from the end of your course on your visa. So as long as the graduation is within that time, then you can stay to do that, and usually it is.
Sorry. So just want to confirm, right? So when is counted at the end of my course? Is it like after I submit my dissertation or after the graduation?
Sorry, it's really difficult to hear you. Hang on a second. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah. So legally, like on the visa, right? When is counted as the end of the course? Is it like after the dissertation or after the graduation?
Yeah, so we actually have a finish date for the course, which will be on your visa. So when you apply, we give you this CAS number, the Certificate of Acceptance of Studies, and that number is essentially your record on a database, which tells the government about your course, about you, about all the information it needs to know to process your visa. And included on that is the start and the end date of your course. So when they look at that, they see the end date of your course will be, Amy, what did you say?
Around September.
September time. And so then you'll be allowed to stay for 3 months after that period in the UK.
No, okay, got it. Thank you.
All right.
We have other questions. Are there any drawbacks if I conduct my thesis in Vietnam instead of in UK in the last stage of the program? Amy and Sam, please answer this question.
Yes, there are no drawbacks. When you move to the dissertation stage, you will still be with us. So your supervisor will be able to connect with you via MS Teams to do all the supervision. And with VN UK students, you will also have a VN UK supervisor as well. So there are pros and cons of staying in the UK and collect the data and do the research, because sometimes the participants might have their participants back in Vietnam. So it really depends on your topic. There will be no drawbacks, especially when you stay to do research in Vietnam. So, for example, your participants, the way you want to collect your data, they might be based in Vietnam in a way that might be easier for you to collect the data for your dissertation. Sam, do you want to add anything?
No, I think that's already clear, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Other questions. I plan to go to the UK with my baby. He is 1 year old. Have any accommodation that suits for us? So Andrew and Vidhi, can you answer this question?
Yes, there is. Our accommodation team can help you to arrange family accommodation. So when you have applied and you're thinking of applying for accommodation, you can speak to them and they will find you suitable accommodation in Nottingham. We have plenty of students that come to us with families.
Yes. Vidhi, would you like to add some more information?
Accommodation team can help find suitable.
Yeah. We cannot hear you so clearly, Vidhi.
So that's fine. Andrew's covered what you know.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Vidhi. I see someone's waving the hands. Can you raise your voice, please?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
I would like to study at your organization, but I'm so very busy. Can your organization hold a course for students to study online, especially for busy students, because I'm very busy I can't go to the England to study this course, but I really study this course in order to, furthermore, that is especially in the serious situation with epidemic expanded over the world. It is also the convenient method for students to study online in Vietnam. So, can you help these students to study TESOL master online? Because it's very good, very convenient for people. I also study this course online, search conference. We talk we talk to teachers online and exchange information like this. It's very good for students, especially for the teacher who has a lot of experience in teaching. So they don't have to go to England in order to reduce cost for their families. If your organization hasn't offered these methods, maybe in the future, can your organization create for students to study online? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. And can Andrew and Amy answer this question for him, please?
Yeah, sure. I think we very much looking at online and have been over the last year because we've changed the way that we teach in many ways. We don't have this course as a fully online course. It wasn't designed as a fully online course, but the pandemic forced us into a situation to adapt. But we very much see the benefit of this course for students that study half of their time in Vietnam and half of their time in the UK, and all of the benefits that brings in studying in another country, exposure to teaching in another country. So that the strengths of the course lie within the physical elements of teaching. If we were to design in the future an online course, it would be structured differently. It would have different forms of assessments. It would be run in a different way. So it isn't this course. But if we do have one in the future, and we're very much looking at online courses with our partner that we work with to do those, then of course we would be very, very interested in helping Vietnamese students to take that course.
Thank you, Andrew. I think Andrew answered the question really well. At the moment, our course is not designed as an online course, but because of the pandemic, we actually moved a lot of our teaching online, and students did the teaching practice online as well. So it gave us, but in a way, like what Andrew said, a very important part for our students is really to study in the multicultural context. And if we design an online course, then we sort of lose that context and that situation already. So, but we will consider that. We will bring your suggestion back to the team. And if we are going to open an online, run an online course, we will definitely let you know. But thank you for the comments. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question and the answer. And I see Dung is waving the hands. Would you like to have some more information or questions?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I saw that you guys have PhD programs too, right? So, I just want to ask, is it like, do I must take the master class and then I have to apply for the PhD, or can I just like right away apply for the whole thing, which is like, you know, just one application for this time, or must I like finish the master course and then like take everything I have and then the PhD?
So I think I'll be able to. I can answer that one. Yeah. So that's a really great question. So at Trent, we don't have what's called a 1+3 program, which is where you have the masters and then an integrated PhD. So we don't have that program at Trent. So what you'd have to do is apply for the masters, and then complete the masters. And just as you're getting towards the end of your masters, have discussion with the staff here about your intentions to continue your studies to PhD, and then we can look to getting you a supervisor, and then you'd go through the application process for a PhD as well, and then you'd continue on with your studies that way. So it'd be separate applications.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
No worries.
Do you have other questions, Linda? Would you like to ask some more questions?
I have many, but I'll have to look at it first. It's okay. Just check out the first. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. I'll come back to you later. I see Khánh Trần Bình, you are having other questions, right? Can you raise your voice?
I have just talked that
hello, are you there?
How to become an English teacher of teaching IELTS. This course is included in this course in this program. I would like to become an English teacher of teaching IELTS for students in Vietnam. So this program has will this program offers condition for the future teachers like that? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your question. Definitely, if you want to be an IELTS teacher for the future, some of our graduates are actually doing that at the moment. So after they take our course, they take different career paths. So it's not just school teachers. Some of them are now lecturers in the universities in Vietnam. And some are really successful. Some of them even established their language schools and expanding the language schools either in Vietnam or in different countries. So yes, IELTS teachers will be, if you want to become an IELTS teacher, yes, we will cover that. You will be able to do that after you complete your MA TESOL with us. Yes, Sam, do you want to add anything, especially from the assessment perspective?
Yeah, I mean, so just to say, we don't have a specific module in teaching IELTS, of course, because that would be a bit too specific. But all of just like Amy mentioned, all of the work you do and all the modules that you take will absolutely be applicable to your work teaching IELTS in the future. In order to be a successful teacher of any subject, it's really important to understand the needs of the learners. And with something like IELTS, then really the needs of the learners are dictated by the exam, but also by the students' ability to perform on that exam at the beginning of the course, yeah? And so one of the modules that we look at, one of the modules that you would take is Materials and Assessment in Language Teaching. And on that module, we talk about needs analysis, we talk about designing a curriculum around the students' needs. And then we also talk about how we can align our curricula to language assessment. So all of those areas will be super important for anyone who wants to teach IELTS.
Okay, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Khánh Trần Bình. And now there is a question that I think that I can answer. Let me read the question first. Actually, I have graduated from the university in the UK with MA TESOL, but I think it's not a good opportunity in career for me when I came back to Vietnam. Can you please tell me what are my career opportunities after I finish my study with MA TESOL in NTU? I would like to clarify this answer for you. Actually, there are many job opportunities if you have MA TESOL degree. You can either teach in some English centers in Vietnam, or you can apply for the teaching position in some universities in Vietnam. As long as you understand your potential, have a clear education philosophy, and you have great love for the students. You have to believe in yourself too. And when you apply for the job, you show your ability, and then you deserve to have a better job in the future. Okay, trust me, and just apply for the job. And just apply for the MA TESOL course, and you will see how your potential explore in this program. and the lecturers will help you to do so. Okay, and let me jump to other questions.
Absolutely, Hal. Can I just add to what your answer, which is I think really spot on. just to add to that, we also have graduates of the MA TESOL program who have opened their own language schools, who have have opened a language school. I think it's in either Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. I forget now. In Ho Chi Minh City, has opened a really successful language school. She came back to give us a presentation this year to talk about wonderful experience and the last 2 years. She's been flourishing as a language school, and she talked about how the modules that she studied, particularly in young learners and then as an assessment, really helped her prepare for this language school. So yeah, there are lots of opportunities.
Thank you so much for the information. And now other questions. Is it compulsory for me to attend in person in UK at the second semester despite of COVID pandemic? The minimum of time I have to stay in the UK? Is it up to 6 or 7 months? As you know, going to study with a baby is not an easy decision for me. So can you, Amy, Sam, or Andrew, answer this question, please?
Yeah, at the moment, we don't know how pandemic is going to affect the course. If the pandemic situation does not get better, there might be possibilities that we might run the sessions online. But the university principle is blended learning situation. So this will be one of the sort of topics that we cannot be 100% sure. I understand that bringing a baby to a different country when the baby is still quite young can be challenging. But I think we can discuss that separately if possible. Sam, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, just on that point of the shortest possible time. So if you're looking to stay in the UK as little as possible, the dissertation period can also be done in Vietnam. I think that was mentioned earlier as well. So you actually you wouldn't need to be in the UK for 7 months. It could be shorter than that because, as I say, once you finish your studies in the UK, you can go back to Vietnam for your dissertation. You would still have the supervision from the NTU academic and the VNUK academic. We would work in collaboration to support you. And then you could do all of your data collection in Vietnam for your dissertation.
Okay, so thank you so much for the answer. And now I would like to read other questions. Hello, as far as I know, the compulsory semester in Vietnam lasts 4 months, so we can opt for studying in the UK for the remaining time. So can you answer this question?
Yes, I think that just relates to what I was just saying. Yeah, you can do your dissertation in the UK or in Vietnam, depends on your choice. Okay, so hopefully that answers. Yeah, let us know if it doesn't. We can talk a bit more about it, but hopefully it does.
Thank you, Sam. Other questions. If I have an undergraduate degree in English language teaching and 2-year experience of teaching language, do I qualify for this program? Is this program just for non-major students? So Amy and Sam, please answer this question.
That is a very good question. This, in short, this course is not just for non-English majors. We also welcome very much the students, the applicants who majored in English language teaching in their BA degree or from any different background. Yeah. Sorry if we give you the impression that we only welcome anybody from any subjects other than English language.
That's very kind of you. Okay, another question. Hi everyone, thank you for your time. Great webinar. I'm Rias. Okay, I'm currently senior of Danansy University. I want to be an English teacher in the future. I've been working as TA and tutor for 3 years and used to join a lot of international activities as volunteer. So I would like to know about your scholarship that you offer for the students. If I don't have IELTS certificates, could you tell me about the requirements of other English qualification? So I think Andrew, Amy, and Sam can answer this question at the same time, please.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, there's no scholarship for this program because the fee is already reduced quite heavily. In terms of qualification to come onto the program in English, we really do ask for IELTS because that's what the UK government requires for entry with a visa. So if you were to get IELTS and get 6.5, that allows you access to the program, but it also allows you to get a visa later on in the year. If you get another English language certificate, we do accept other English language qualifications. We could accept you onto the program, but you would need to get an IELTS certificate to come later onto with a visa to come to the UK. So it makes sense to get IELTS if you can. Sorry, you're on mute, Ham.
Oh, I'm sorry. Amy, would you like to add some more information?
Yes, we also accept TOEFL certificate as well. Just to add to Andrew's point, but in general, because IELTS, we accept IELTS as well as TOEFL, so it will be the equivalence.
Thank you, Amy, for that. And Sam, please.
And then just to add another option as well, also the pre-sessional course that we mentioned earlier. But I mean, it looks from your question, you talked about being a TA and these kinds of being a TA for 3 years and joining lots of international activities. And a question before was about the personal statement. And I think talking about that type of action is a really good thing. It would be really positive in your personal statement. Yeah, so try and show us your passion for English education.
Yes,
thank
definitely.
You.
It
and
looks
Amy,
like a very good candidate.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know. And okay, I see a waving hand here. Hàng, Nguyễn, Lê Thanh. Can I hear your voice?
Okay. So hello everyone. So I am a little bit I'm really keen on doing research, and I do really want to know what kind of research skills that are going to be covered in your in the course. Like I do care much about like quantitative analysis. So is there any are you guys going to introduce me a little bit more about statistic analysis in the course?
Okay. Yeah, so maybe I can maybe answer that. So I guess that relates to our research methods module that Amy and I teach together. And I think Amy won't mind me saying this, that she's into our the way we split it. Amy is perhaps more qualitative and I'm more quantitative in our approaches. Amy's research area is using corpus linguistics, a really fascinating method of language analysis. And then my area of expertise is more about quantitative analysis. So Amy deals with things like corpus analysis, and then I will help students develop knowledge of statistics, both knowledge in terms of how to understand statistics, but also how to conduct analyses, how students can conduct analyses themselves. So we'll deal with quite simple statistics to begin with, things like t-tests and ANOVAs. But then on your dissertation, some students use much more complex statistics like multiple regression. Some students even use things like mixed effects modeling or structural equation modeling. If you're familiar, I don't know if you're familiar with statistics. But basically, there are courses you can take within the university as well if you're interested in these advanced statistical analyses. So the library offers courses in a statistical package called R, which will allow you to do really complex statistics to look at quite interesting questions about language learning and teaching. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, pretty much. If I want to enroll for the course at the library, I will have to pay extra fee for that, right?
No, it's all included.
Wow, okay.
So the library courses are all free, and actually sometimes we get the staff from the library to come in and do some statistics training with our students. So just to give you an example, one of my students 2 years ago, she was doing her dissertation with me, and she wanted to use a type of analysis called multiple regression. And I was able to help her with that, but then she was able to go to the library and have an extra tutorial, and they gave her some advice on the analysis that she ran. And then she was able to take that analysis work on it by herself and utilize it for her dissertation.
Okay, that's really cool. Thank you.
No, you're so welcome. Thanks. Good question.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Han. And then I have other question. What if that I get some troubles with applying the visa? Could I get any help from MA TESOL programs during the time delaying due to the visa? What would I have to do? Continue studying in Vietnam or wait? So please answer this question.
Yeah, so well, hopefully that doesn't happen. And the visa processing times in Vietnam are usually very good. I think Vidhi might be able to tell me, but I think they're around 10 business days for a visa to be processed. Yeah. So typically, if you have everything in order, the visa is quite a straightforward process. We obviously have Chia in Vietnam as well, who helps lots of students with their visas, so she can probably help as well.
Yeah. So I just want to add more to Andrew's comments. Like in Vietnam, that we have a list of agents that who is the partnership, who had the official partnership with NTU, and amongst that is the IDB. So we also know that IDB Education also have the office in Da Nang City. That's why we sign a contract with the IDB Da Nang to help you with the visa application. So it's mean that when you apply for the course, that you will be guaranteed to have an IDB staff to help you with the visa application. So I may say that IDB is a very professional and very trustworthy agents in Vietnam. So you can believe in their expert in the visa application.
Yes, I'd also like to add that in addition to the great network of agents that we have in Vietnam, the International Student Support Office at NTU can also look at your visa documents and provide you any advice that you want. If you want them to double check your papers or any specialized advice, we have a team here who can help you with that.
Okay, so thank you so much for the information. Phương Thảo Trần, are you there? You said that you can raise your hand, but I read your message. So can you raise your voice for now?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Please.
I don't know why I can't raise my hand. Actually, yes. I want to contact directly with on the keynote speaker today. I sent the questions to you about the condition to apply this program. Actually, I love teaching English. Actually, I'm currently a accounting teacher, but I want to be a good teacher, not only in accounting but English, because I think English is a key to open all the gates. And I love England, okay, and when I see your advertisement on Facebook, and I immediately to get interested with event. I can see that you show many information about the procedure to enroll this program, and I know that I should contact directly with DIUN UK about the enrollment. Is that right? The condition is very clear. IELTS must be 6.5, and my qualification. Okay, I think that you can do something to decide whether I can enroll this program. But I mean that the contact is very important. So I mean that I should directly contact with DIUN UK to get more information about this program. Is that right?
Yes, okay. Definitely, please. How, please, can you answer the question?
Actually, I think, just a second.
Yes, definitely. A short answer is yes. Please do contact with DIUN UK
yes.
to submit your application form. But if you have any questions that are related to the course, you can also get in touch with us, with either me or Sam, and then we will try our best best to answer your questions too.
Yeah, as far as I know, I know that the program is divided into two parts. One, we study in Vietnam, I mean that in Da Nang City, and another I study in England in your university. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
So the question is that how can I get the visa? And the visa related to the qualification about the IELTS and my some condition. So if that is clear for me, I just want to know the contact so I can contact directly with the
and Phương Thảo Trần, can you hear me for now?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Yeah, sorry for not answering the question at the first time. And for now, I want to ask you whether you are having IELTS certificate now?
Yes, I will take IELTS test this June. Actually, I can speak English, but the problem comes from my listening skill. I can listen, but I cannot get the information related to questions. So I do some course related to the technique to get higher grade in this IELTS test. I mean that I want to be an English lecturer. I want to do more research about accounting, economics, and the policy. I work in public college, so I want to develop my college too, involve the economic policy and social policy. And I want to use English fluently, useful, effectively in not only in teaching, but in communication. When I make a presentation before the audience, So I get interested with this program, and I think it's very suitable for me because it does take me 1 year to finish this course, so I can apply. So I will contact with you, Hảo, because it's very close to my college right now.
Yeah, and please contact me whenever we finish this webinar. I will give you.
Thank you, because I want to say thank you so much. I get many useful information from Ms. Wang, from Mr. Sam and Mr. Andrew, and many partners of NTU and Vnuk. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope your event will be successful and very interesting for many students. Okay, say thank you.
Thank you so much
for joining us.
Yeah, it's very kind of you to say so. And other question, is there any requirements in my BA academic results when I apply the MA program? For example, one of my subjects has the very low average mark.
Sorry, I answered that in the chat lower down. So you do need to get a GPA that's equivalent to what we call a 2-2, a second class lower honours in the UK, which is 6.7 out of 10 or 2.6 out of 4 from your degree in Vietnam. I'll post the link to the Vietnam page as well, so you can see other information.
Yeah. And Lim Jung, are you waving the hand? Would you like to ask some more questions, please?
Yes. This question is actually for the current students. I just want to ask. I think Mr. T is right now in the UK, right? I actually want to ask about, the experience, not about, academic study, but about life and, generally like life there, about the social life and, how the culture is different or the same, or, how do you cope with cultural shock?
Tien, would it be possible for you to answer the question or now?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, the question was about not just about the academic experience, but kind of the more broader experience of living in the UK. How do you find it? How is it? What are some of the difficulties? What are the great things about it? I think that's the question.
Yeah. So like, how is life in the
Thank
UK?
you, Sam.
And is there any culture shock? And how do you cope with it? And what are like the fun things that I can expect if I go to the UK? Yeah.
I think Thầy and Ngọc can answer this question too. Thầy and Ngọc, both of you.
Yeah. I think the life in Nottingham is people is very friendly, and yeah, I think I believe that you can have a really good experience apart from schooling. Yeah, I think in one year. How about Ngọc? You want to ask something?
About normal life in UK, right? I love that. You know that the sky in here is amazing because, as you know, I'm living in Hanoi, so it's super polluted. So when I go out, you know that my album in my phone now is full of sky pictures. And in here, we don't have too much chance to go by motorbike as we have in Vietnam. We have to walk. So yeah, enjoy the atmosphere. You know that I'm super lazy when I'm in Vietnam. I hate doing exercise, but come here I have to walk a lot. So like enjoy the nature as being a student. So yeah, it's great. I think that changing the environment is a great experience. So just enjoy it.
And Chia, would you want to add some more information? You used to study in Nottingham. You are mute, and your voice is muted.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that I studied at NTU back in 2017. I studied marketing course then. So related to the questions that I want to add something. At first, I think that I don't find any difficulty at the beginning when I travel or when I move to the UK, especially in Nottingham. I think that's because like I did a lot of research beforehand, so I know and I expect what happened in Nottingham. And when I went there, I found that the university is so supportive. Like whenever I have any questions, whenever I have the concern, I just go to the international student support, and they can give me the proper answer. You know that even if they don't know the answer, they will, introduce me with the people who can help me out with the answer. So I find that the experience of settling down in Nottingham was quite very easy for me. And it's happened when I go out in the city center as well. Like I found, the Nottingham city is really compact because like you can walk into the most of the destination just within 20 minutes, and you can find that it's very easy to travel around. There are a lot of supermarkets that you can like shop very easy in Nottingham. And if you have any question, you can ask the people, in the streets, and they are very friendly to help you with any question you have. So I think that you may find, that most of the students who come to the Nottingham will feel the same like me, because like the city is very, very easy and friendly to live in. And I also, recognize that she also asked about the, activity. If you being a student, I recommend that at the moment that we have the community on the Facebook, on the social media channel, like the Facebook group. So you can join that group and you can, connect with the students who are currently studying at NTU. as well the alumni who study at NTU before. So you can ask the experience, you can know and you can get to know about the activity, about the opportunity that you may get when you went to the Nottingham. So when you prepare for yourself, those information that you will feel, ready, and you can get the most about the experience when you travel to the UK.
Okay. Thank you so much for all of the information that Chi, Thiện, and Ngọc have to share with you. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Linh. And I see Hằng, Nguyễn, Lê Thanh. Are you waving the hands, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I have one last question. Thiện and Ngọc. So are you feeling safe living in the UK right now? I'm not talking about health, but I'm talking about Asian hate. That seems to be like a problem. So can you share some experience with me, please?
Yeah, it's a good question. Please answer her question. Thiện, Ngọc, yeah, both of you.
Yeah, okay.
First,
say something. Before coming here, I also read some news about that. I worry, honestly, of course. But because I'm worried, so I'm quite be careful when I go out. I still go walk alone, but I haven't had any experience like this. And even with our classmates, because this is multicultural, so they super friendly. I'm not sure because this just based on my experience, so I cannot judge for everyone, every situation. So just be careful, we aware about this situation, so I try to be careful about that. But I haven't had any experience like this. Maybe UK is better than USA, I don't know.
How about you, Thiện? What do you think?
About safety, I think I heard someone said we shouldn't go along kind of outside. It's too late, about 12 or 11 along. But yeah, I heard that, and I also often came back from my from my working place at 11, but I felt quite safe. Nothing happened, and yeah, that's carefully and on. But about the people in here, I think they are very friendly, especially my classmates. We often have a picnic together. We can even we can play bowling. Once we cook together and on. And I also plan to have a travel to Manchester after many days life. And yeah, I felt the life in here is quite safe and interesting. It's really worth it to try.
Yeah, thank you. That pretty much answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Han. Are there any questions? Do you have any other questions related to life in Nottingham or about the course or something? Anyone here would like to add some more information or questions? Okay. If you have any other questions and you cannot ask for now because of some issues or something, please write me an email to the email as I posted below, or you can go directly to the fan page to ask for more information or get the hotline, and you can directly call me or you can send me an email. Okay. And Andrew, I think you would like to say thank, and you want to say thank you first in your side, and then after that I will go.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you very much for coming to the webinar today. We really look forward to hearing from you with your applications if you think this course is suitable for you. And if so, maybe one day even seeing you in Nottingham. Thanks again and have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And to our meeting, we hope that we answer a lot of questions and concerns that you are having. After webinar, we are looking forward to your application, and because we believe that the learning pathway, the education philosophy, the reasonable tuition fee, time will bring you a better education in the future. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today. And please stay here for a while to keep watching our last 2 videos. Once again, thank you so much. And I hope to receive your email very soon to give you a lot of consultation and can help you a lot with the application. And I hope that all of you can have and I hope that you can make a very good decision in the future with this MA TESOL course. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Sam, Vidhi, Andrew. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Xin chào mọi người, mình tên là An, mình đến từ Đà Nẵng. Hồi đại học thì mình đã đăng ký ngành sư phạm tiếng Anh của trường Đại học Ngoại ngữ Đại học Đà Nẵng. Và thật ra thì trước khi mà mình đăng ký nguyện vọng thì làm giáo viên chưa hẳn là cái ưu tiên số 1 của mình khi mà mình chọn ngành. Nhưng mà đại khái là thì cũng cơ duyên thôi, cho nên mình mới quyết định là đăng ký học làm giáo viên. Thì sau 4 năm học đại học thì mình mới phát hiện ra là hóa ra đây là cái nghề mà gọi là phù hợp với mình nhất. Thay vì phải ngồi văn phòng nhiều hoặc là phải như thế nào đó thì dạy cho các em dường như là nó đã có những cái tác động khá là lớn đến cái sự thay đổi của bản thân mình. Thì vì vậy mà sau khi mình tốt nghiệp đại học xong thì mình mới quyết định là mình muốn học thêm nữa. Mình muốn biết thêm nhiều cái cách dạy khác nhau của việc dạy tiếng Anh. Và đó là lý do vì sao mình đã cố gắng tìm kiếm thông tin về các chương trình thạc sĩ của ngành này. Và cũng tình cờ thôi, khi mà mình đang tìm thông tin ở trên Internet thì mình mới thấy một quảng cáo về cái chương trình MA TESOL của Vnuk hợp tác với NTU. Thì mình cảm thấy rất là tò mò, bởi vì khá là đặc biệt, bởi vì mình cứ nghĩ trong đầu là nếu như mình muốn học MA TESOL thì mình phải qua hẳn bên Anh để học. Nhưng mà ở đây thì lại có sự kết hợp giữa một trường đại học của Việt Nam và một trường đại học của Anh, cho nên mình mới quyết định là tìm hiểu thêm. Thì càng tìm hiểu thì mình cảm thấy công nhận cái chương trình này nó khá là phù hợp với mình, và đặc biệt là phù hợp cho năm 2020 vì năm nay quả thật là một năm rất là kỳ lạ. Dịch bệnh nó hoành hành khá là nhiều, cho nên cái việc mà đi qua một quốc gia mới để học tập nguyên một năm thì đúng là có hơi không được phù hợp cho lắm trong năm nay. Và khi mà mình tìm hiểu thì cái chương trình MA TESOL của Vnuk và NTU thì nó cho phép mình học một học kỳ ở Việt Nam. Và mình nghĩ rằng cái khoảng này sẽ là một khoảng cho mình vừa học vừa đợi cho mọi thứ ổn định hơn, để như là một bước đệm để mình qua Anh để học tiếp. Và khi mà mình học được một học kỳ ở đây rồi thì mình cảm thấy cái chương trình này thật sự rất là hay. Mặc dù mình học ở đây các giáo viên đều là người Việt Nam, tuy nhiên các bài dạy cũng như các assignment, các bài tập về nhà đều là do bên trường NTU gửi qua. Và như vậy thì cũng giống như là mình cũng đang học ở bên đó vậy. Các giáo viên ở bên đó cũng rất là hay giúp đỡ. Họ sẵn sàng gọi là camera call rồi đại khái là họ tìm mọi cách để liên lạc với bên mình, để theo dõi sát sao tình hình học tập của mình. Các thầy cô ở bên Việt Nam thì các thầy cô rất là dễ thương, các thầy cô cũng vô cùng hay giúp đỡ, các thầy cô sẵn sàng giải đáp tất cả các thắc mắc của mình. Ngoài ra thì mình thấy cái chương trình học cũng rất là phù hợp. Bởi vì mình cần mở thêm kiến thức về bản thân tiếng Anh nói chung, cũng như là cái cách dạy tiếng Anh nói riêng. Và chương trình này cũng đã đáp ứng được cho mình cái practical skills, gọi là cái kỹ năng thực tế của mình. Có nghĩa là mình đã qua 2 buổi micro teaching, cũng đã học được rất nhiều điều, cũng đã nhận được những góp ý vô cùng hữu ích đến từ phía các bạn ở các thầy cô ở Vnuk. Vì tình hình dịch bệnh hiện tại ở thế giới thì vẫn chưa có gì gọi là ổn định lắm, cho nên mình không biết là qua kỳ 2 mình có qua bên Anh hay không, hay là mình phải tạm dừng một thời gian. Nhưng mà chắc chắn rằng mình không hề hối hận khi chọn MA TESOL của Vnuk và NTU. Và mình nghĩ rằng trong tương lai, sau khi mình học xong khóa thạc sĩ này, thì mình nghĩ rằng cái con đường sự nghiệp của mình sẽ được tiến lên một bậc nữa, gọi là sẽ có nhiều cơ hội cho mình hơn. Mình thì mình thích, gọi là muốn xin vào một trường đại học ở Đà Nẵng để dạy. Và đương nhiên điều kiện tiên quyết là mình phải có bằng thạc sĩ. Và vì vậy mà sau khóa này mình hy vọng là mình có thể được chấp nhận ở một số trường đại học, coi như là hoặc là các trường cấp 3 chẳng hạn.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn, mình tên Minh. Hiện tại mình là sinh viên của trường Vnuk. Mình tốt nghiệp trường Đại học Ngoại ngữ, chuyên ngành ngôn ngữ Anh. Và trước khi mà mình có đam mê giảng dạy như bây giờ thì mình làm việc như là một hướng dẫn viên du lịch. Và trước đó thì mình cứ nghĩ rằng là giảng dạy là một công việc rất là căng thẳng, rất là demanding. Và mình phải chiều lòng tất cả các bạn học sinh, mà cho dù các bạn đó rất là quậy phá, rất là bướng bỉnh. Nhưng mà một người đã thực sự thay đổi mình chính là cô giáo. Cô là giáo sư của trường Đại học Ngoại ngữ và cô truyền cảm hứng cũng như động lực cho mình rất lớn. Cô mới nói rằng là giảng dạy chính là mở ra một cuộc đời mới cho các em học sinh của mình. Giảng dạy rất là tuyệt vời, rất là quý báu. Và mình thực sự cảm thấy đó chính là con đường mà mình cần phải theo đuổi và cần phải gọi là đi theo lâu dài nhất. Bây giờ hiện tại mình đang học ở Vnuk và tất cả các bạn đều biết Vnuk đã có danh tiếng từ rất lâu, nhưng mà các bạn cũng thấy rằng là ở đây môi trường học tập rất là tiến bộ, cũng như những cái lớp học rất là open về phương pháp giảng dạy. Các giáo sư thì rất là tận tâm. Và chương trình MA TESOL ở trường Vnuk và Đại học Nottingham Trent rất là tuyệt vời để các bạn theo đuổi, cũng như là mở ra con đường mới, con đường sáng hơn, rạng rỡ hơn. Với em, giáo dục chính là hướng đến người học và Vnuk đã thực sự đáp ứng điều đó. Chương trình thạc sĩ MA TESOL của Vnuk và trường đại học Nottingham thực sự rất tuyệt vời và là nền tảng vững chắc cho các bạn đã tốt nghiệp đại học và muốn tiếp tục học thạc sĩ. Và ở đây có những thầy cô rất là kind-hearted và những thầy cô rất là có kinh nghiệm, truyền đạt cho chúng ta rất là nhiều những kinh nghiệm quý báu. Và hơn nữa, về cơ sở vật chất của Vnuk thì rất là hiện đại, có rất là nhiều các câu lạc bộ. Các bạn không chỉ học kiến thức, các bạn còn phát triển những kỹ năng mềm, kỹ năng thuyết trình, kỹ năng giảng dạy, làm việc nhóm. Và các bạn còn có cơ hội phát triển tài năng của mình với những cuộc thi. Và mình thực sự cảm thấy rất là tuyệt vời nếu như các bạn học ở Vnuk và theo đuổi chương trình MA TESOL. Thông qua học MA TESOL ở trường, mình mong muốn được giảng dạy ở các trường đại học. Và như các bạn đã biết thì tiêu chuẩn để chọn các giảng viên của trường đại học khá là khó khăn. Mình đầu tiên cần phải thật vững trong các cái phương pháp giảng dạy về methodology. Và thứ hai nữa là mình cần phải tốt nghiệp ở một trường đại học, tốt nghiệp thạc sĩ ở trường đại học nước ngoài. Và chương trình này là nền tảng để mình có thể phát triển lâu dài hơn trên con đường của mình. Và mình mong muốn trong tương lai mình sẽ dẫn dắt các em học sinh của mình học tiếng Anh một cách hiệu quả và tốt hơn.